The big ship came from the stars on a Tuesday morning. It hung in the sky like a dark cloud. Kang Jun stood on the roof of Earth Defense Force headquarters, watching through his binoculars. "Captain Kang, they're sending a message," said a young soldier beside him. Kang nodded. At 42, he had seen many things in his years of service, but nothing like this. The alien ship was smooth and black, with strange marks that glowed purple along its sides. "Tell command I'm coming down," he said. Inside the command center, screens showed the ship from different angles. World leaders joined by video call. Everyone looked worried. "The message is in perfect English," said General Lee. "They call themselves the Allians." The main screen lit up. On it appeared a tall, thin figure with pale blue skin. It looked almost human, but wrong in small ways. Its eyes were too big, its fingers too long, and when it smiled, its teeth looked sharp. "People of Earth," it said in a smooth voice, "I am Queen Thera of the Allians. We come in peace and friendship." Kang felt something cold in his stomach. The Queen's smile reminded him of something from his childhood in the Korean countryside. His grandfather had shown him pictures of hyenas once. They smile before they hunt, his grandfather had said. The Queen spoke of sharing technology and knowledge. She talked about helping humans reach the stars. World leaders asked questions, and she answered with that same strange smile. "We request permission to land and establish diplomatic centers," Queen Thera said. "We bring gifts and wish to learn about your beautiful world." One by one, the world leaders agreed. Only General Lee looked at Kang, noticing his frown. "Captain, you have concerns?" asked the general quietly. "Something doesn't feel right, sir," Kang said. "They found us too easily. They speak our languages too well. The president wants this alliance. The people want the technology they offer," said General Lee. "We need proof before we can raise alarms." 3 days later, 5 smaller ships landed in major cities around the world. One came to Seoul. Kang was there with his team, watching as the ship opened. Queen Thera stepped out first. She was taller in person, nearly 7 feet high. Behind her came others like her, carrying strange boxes and devices. But what caught Kang's attention were the smaller creatures that followed. "These are our ceremonial companions," explained the Queen when people stared. "They come from our home world. They mean no harm." The creatures looked like a mix between earth hyenas and large insects. They walked on 4 legs but had 6 eyes each. They made clicking sounds as they moved. And sometimes they seemed to laugh. That night, Kang called his old friend Hyenas. She was the smartest person he knew, a scientist who studied alien biology. "I need your help," he told her. "I need you to study these aliens. Something isn't right." "The government says they're friendly," Hyenas said. "Everyone's excited about their technology. My grandfather taught me to trust my feelings," Kang replied. "And right now, everything in me says we're in danger. These aliens remind me of predators, not friends." Hyenas was quiet for a moment. "I'll see what I can find out," she finally said. "But be careful, Kang. If you're wrong, you could ruin your career." "And if I'm right?" he asked. "We could lose much more than careers." As they talked, across Seoul, the Allians were setting up their new embassy. Inside, Queen Thera stood at a window, looking out at the human city. Beside her, one of her hyena creatures made a laughing sound. "Yes," she whispered, stroking its head. "Soon enough. But patience first. Let them welcome us with open arms." She smiled her sharp-toothed smile. Behind her, more of her hyenas laughed in the darkness. 6 months passed since the Allians came to Earth. People loved their gifts. New medicine that cured many sicknesses. Machines that cleaned dirty water. Devices that made cheap power. Kang Jun did not trust them. Every week, he met with Hyenas in a small coffee shop far from the Alien embassy. "What have you found?" he asked, keeping his voice low. Hyenas looked tired. Dark circles hung under her eyes. She handed him a small device. This blocks their listening technology, she said. I made it myself. Now we can talk. She pulled out a tablet and showed him pictures. They were cells, tiny parts of living things that only big microscopes could see. These are alien cells, she said. I got samples from their trash. They need something in their food that their bodies can't make. What do they need? Asked Kang. A special protein. It's found in mammals, but most of all in humans, Hyenas said. Her hands shook a little. On their world, they might hunt animals for it. But here, Kang felt cold. Here they have us. Hyenas nodded. But that's not the worst part. Those hyena things they brought. I studied one that died. It wasn't born. It was made. Made. Like in a lab. Yes, using parts from many different animals. They're hunting machines, Kang. And they have special glands that make them hungry for humans. Outside the coffee shop window, people walked by smiling. A new alien building was being built across the street. The aliens were everywhere now, 10,000 of them on Earth, with bases in 50 major cities. We need proof they're dangerous, Kang said. No one will believe us without it. Hyenas handed him a small drive. I put cameras near their waste disposal area. Watch what I recorded. That night, Kang sat alone in his apartment and played the video. It showed Allians in a room, feeding something to their hyena creatures. The camera angle changed, and Kang saw what they were feeding them. Pieces of meat. Human meat. One alien turned and seemed to look right at the camera. It smiled that hyena smile. The next day, Kang went to General Lee's office. Sir, I have evidence the Allians are dangerous, he said, putting the drive on the desk. The general looked strangely calm. Captain Kang, you worry too much. The Allians are our friends. They've helped us so much. Sir, please look at the evidence, Kang insisted. General Lee's eyes looked empty. The Queen herself has assured me all is well. You should meet her. She can explain everything. Kang backed away. Something was wrong with the general. His eyes were not his own. That night, Kang called Hyenas. No answer. He drove to her lab. The door was open, but the lab was empty. Papers were scattered everywhere. Her computer was gone. On her desk, written in what looked like blood, "Run." Kang heard a clicking sound behind him. He turned slowly. One of the hyena creatures stood in the doorway, its 6 eyes fixed on him. It made a sound like laughter. Kang backed away. There was a window behind him. The hyena creature stepped forward, still making that laughing sound. Its mouth opened wider than should be possible, showing rows of sharp teeth. Kang grabbed a chair and threw it at the creature. While it was distracted, he jumped through the window. Glass cut his arm, but he kept running. In his car, he tried to think. The Allians had taken Hyenas. They had done something to General Lee's mind. How many others were under their control? His phone rang. Unknown number. Hello, he answered cautiously. Captain Kang, said the smooth voice of Queen Thera. We should talk. I believe your friend, Hyenas, misses you. In the background, he could hear the sound of hyenas laughing. Kang did not answer the Queen's call. Instead, he drove fast away from the city. He needed time to think. He needed a safe place. 3 hours later, he parked near a small hill covered with trees. From his trunk, he took out a bag with old equipment that couldn't be tracked. He hiked up the hill to a small cabin his grandfather had built years ago. Inside, he set up his old laptop and put in Hyenas' drive. There was more on it than just the feeding video. He found files she had hidden, maps of alien bases, notes about missing people, and a video message from Hyenas herself. Her face filled the screen. She looked scared. Kang, if you're watching this, I'm probably gone, she said. The Allians are not here for peace. They're farmers, and we're their food. They've done this before on other worlds. She showed pictures of strange planets. On each one, Aliens that looked like the Allians stood among dead bodies of different creatures. They call it the culling. They've been taking humans from poor areas where no one notices, but soon they'll start taking more. They plan a big attack during the World Peace celebration next week. Kang checked the date of the video. The celebration was tomorrow. They use the hyenas to hunt, Hyenas continued, and they control important people with some kind of mind technology. Be careful who you trust. The video ended. Kang tried to call people he knew in the Earth Defense Force. No one answered. He tried the emergency line. A calm voice told him all was well. All was not well. He spent the night planning. Early the next morning, he put on old clothes and a hat to hide his face. He drove to Seoul, parking far from the city center. The World Peace celebration was starting. People filled the streets. Allians walked among them, smiling their sharp smiles. On big screens around the city, Queen Thera appeared. She stood on a stage with world leaders behind her. They all had the same empty look General Lee had. "Friends of Earth," the Queen said, "today marks 1 year since our two species met. We have shared much, and now we will share even more." Kang pushed through the crowd, trying to get closer to the stage. He needed to see what was happening. "Our worlds are now one," the Queen continued, "and it is time for the next step in our relationship." The world leaders nodded together, like puppets. "Some of you will feed the future," said the Queen. Her smile grew wider, showing all her sharp teeth. "It is a great honor." The crowd grew quiet, confused. Then someone screamed. At the edges of the crowd, the hyena creatures appeared. Hundreds of them. But they were different now. Bigger. Their insect parts more visible. They moved into the crowd, making their laughing sounds. "The culling begins now," said the Queen on the screens. "Do not fear. Your sacrifice feeds our future." People began to run. The hyenas chased them, moving faster than any earth animal could. Kang saw one catch a man, its teeth tearing into his neck. Chaos spread through the city. The Allians watched from high places, laughing like their hyenas as people died below. Kang ran to a police station. Inside, he found officers sitting at their desks, staring with empty eyes. On their screens, a pattern of lights flashed. Mind control. He grabbed a police radio and sent out a message. "This is Captain Kang Jun of the Earth Defense Force. The Allians are attacking. This is not a drill. They are killing people. Hide if you can. Fight if you must." As he spoke, the door behind him opened. Queen Thera stood there, much taller than she looked on screens. Behind her, 3 hyenas clicked and laughed. "Captain Kang," she said. "How nice to meet you at last." Kang faced Queen Thera in the police station. Her tall blue body blocked the door. Her hyenas made hungry sounds. "Your friend Hyenas told us much about you," said the Queen. "She fought hard, but in the end, all your kind talk." Kang looked for a way out. There was a back door behind the police desk. "Why are you doing this?" he asked, moving slowly to the side. "We welcomed you." Queen Thera laughed. It sounded just like her hyenas. "You are food," she said simply. "Good food. Better than most worlds we visit." One of the hyenas moved forward. Kang grabbed a chair and swung it hard. The creature jumped back. "You fight well for food," said the Queen. "Join us, Captain Kang. Some humans have. They will live while others die." On the wall screen behind her, Kang saw news from around the world. Cities burning, hyenas hunting in streets, and worst of all, humans helping them. Traitors. "Who would join you?" Kang asked, still moving toward the back door. "Those who love power more than their own kind," said the Queen. "We promised them life forever. They believed us." She laughed again. "Food that helps catch more food. So efficient." Suddenly, all the screens in the room changed. The president's face appeared. "People of Earth," he said in a flat voice, "the Allians have shown us the truth. Many humans must die so some can live better. This is the way of nature. Give yourselves to the collectors. Do not fight. Kang felt sick. The highest leaders had turned against their own people. Now, said Queen Thera to her hyenas, take him. The creatures jumped forward. Kang threw a computer at one. He kicked another in the face, but the third grabbed his leg with sharp claws. Kang fell hard. The hyena climbed on top of him, its many eyes looking into his, its mouth opened wide. Then a loud sound shook the building. An explosion outside. The hyena turned to look. Kang pulled his knife from his boot and stabbed deep into the creature's neck. Green blood sprayed out. The hyena screamed. Queen Thera hissed in anger. Another explosion rocked the building. Part of the ceiling fell between Kang and the aliens. Find him. The queen shouted to her remaining hyenas. He must not escape. Kang ran through the back door. Behind the police station, an Earth Defense Force truck was on fire. The driver was dead, but he had hit the building hard. A last act of resistance. Kang took the driver's gun and ran through back streets. The sounds of screams and hunting hyenas filled the air. Twice he had to hide as groups of hyenas ran past. He reached a parking garage and found an old truck with keys still in it. As he drove out of the city, he saw the true size of the attack. Every major road had alien ships landing on them. Hyenas poured out, hunting people who tried to flee. On the radio, the same message played over and over. Give yourselves to the collectors. Do not fight. Kang turned it off. He needed to get far away, to the one place he knew would be safe, his grandfather's farm in the mountains. It was hidden and hard to find. His grandfather had always said it was a place to go when the world went bad. As he drove out of Seoul, he looked in the mirror. The city was burning. Above it, the big alien ship sent down more smaller ships. The invasion was happening everywhere at once. His phone rang. The screen showed unknown caller again. This time Kang answered. Captain Kang, said a voice he didn't know. This is Da. I worked with Hyenas. She told me to find you if things went bad. Where are you? Kang asked. Hiding with others who can still think for themselves. The Allians can't control everyone. Where are you going? To my grandfather's farm in the mountains, said Kang. If you can, meet me there. Bring anyone you trust. As he drove away from the burning city, Kang made a promise to himself. The Allians and their hyenas laughed as they killed. But he would not laugh. He would fight back. It took Kang 3 days to reach his grandfather's farm. The roads were dangerous. Twice he had to hide from alien ships flying overhead. Once he drove through a small town where hyenas were hunting. He did not stop. The farm sat in a valley between tall mountains. Trees hid it from the sky. Kang's grandfather had built it that way on purpose. Always have a place to hide, he used to say. The main house was made of stone. Behind it were fields and a big barn. As Kang drove up the dirt road, he was surprised to see smoke coming from the chimney. Someone was already there. He parked and took out his gun. Slowly, he walked to the house. The door opened before he reached it. Captain Kang, said a man with a tired face. I'm Da. We spoke on the phone. Inside, Kang found 8 people. Da was a soldier who had fought the hyenas. Jiho was an engineer who knew how alien technology worked. Suk was just 16, the only one who had escaped when hyenas attacked her school bus. We came here because Hyenas told us it was safe, said Da. Before the Alliance took her. Is she alive? Asked Kang. We think so. The Alliance keep some humans to study. They want to learn how our minds work so they can control us better. Kang looked at the others. What about the rest of the world? Jiho turned on a radio. Different voices spoke in many languages. People were fighting back, but losing. The Allians had taken most major cities. Their technology shut down human weapons. Their hyenas hunted day and night. We need a plan, said Da. First, I want to show you something, said Kang. He led them to the barn behind the house. Inside were 6 large bulls. not normal bulls. These were bigger, with thicker muscles and smarter eyes. Each had a name painted on its stall. My grandfather started breeding these, Kang explained. He mixed our native Korean cattle with other species, made them stronger and smarter. The largest bull had dark eyes that watched Kang carefully. Its coat was black and shiny. Across its stall was the name Daewoo. Daewoo was the first, said Kang. I helped raise him when I was young. Suk, the teenage girl, walked up to Daewoo's stall. The big bull lowered its head to her. She touched its nose gently. He's not afraid, she said softly. No, said Kang. And that's important. These bulls don't fear much. Jai-Ho looked confused. What can bulls do against aliens with spaceships? At that moment, they heard a sound outside. A high-pitched noise that hurt their ears. The people covered their ears in pain, but the bulls did something strange. They all made loud, deep bellowing sounds together. The high-pitched noise stopped suddenly. They ran outside. In the yard was a dead hyena creature. It had been trying to use its sound weapon, the high-pitched noise that hurt humans, but something about the bull's bellowing had killed it. That's not possible, said Jai-Ho, looking at the dead hyena. Sound shouldn't kill it like that. Kang thought about what Hyenas had discovered. Maybe the Allians have a weakness we don't know about yet. They'd brought the dead hyena into the barn for Jai-Ho to study. While he worked, Kang and Dae set up guards around the farm. More people might come, or more hyenas. That night, as they sat around the fire in the main house, Suk spoke up. The bull, Daewoo, he talked to me. Everyone looked at her. Not with words, she explained, but in my head. He showed me pictures. He knows what the aliens are, and he hates them. That's not possible, said Jai-Ho again. Many things shouldn't be possible, said Kang. But here we are, hiding from aliens while they hunt humans. Outside, in the dark barn, Daewoo the bull stood in his stall, wide awake. His dark eyes seemed to glow slightly in the darkness, and if anyone had been watching very carefully, they might have noticed how he kept looking toward the sky, as if he was waiting for something. For 3 days, Jai-Ho studied the dead hyena. He took it apart piece by piece. The others helped when they could. Kang kept watch from the hills around the farm. On the 4th day, Jai-Ho called everyone to the barn. He had set up a small lab using old farm equipment and things from his backpack. I know how they work now, he said, pointing to the hyena parts on the table. They're not just animals. They're machines too. He showed them small metal parts inside the hyena's head and body. The Allians made these creatures to hunt. See these? He pointed to 6 small organs behind the hyena's eyes. They see heat. They track warm bodies. That's how they find humans so easily, said Da. Yes, and this, Jai-Ho pointed to another organ in the throat, makes the high sound that hurts us. But the bull's deep sounds break it somehow. Suk stood near Daewoo's stall. The big bull watched them all with his dark eyes. I think I found something else, said Jai-Ho. He connected a small device to his laptop. This was in the hyena's head. I think it's a memory unit. The screen lit up with strange writing. Jai-Ho typed quickly. I can't read their language, he said, but I think these are pictures. The screen showed images of planets, different worlds with different creatures. On each world, the Allians hunted the local beings. They'd done this many times, said Jai-Ho. 17 worlds before Earth. Do all the worlds lose? Asked Suk quietly. Jai-Ho kept working. I think, yes, all lost. The room grew quiet. Then Jai-Ho sat up straight. Wait, I found something. A file Hyenas made. Hyenas. Kang moved closer. How? She must have put it in their system somehow. Maybe when she was taken. Jai-Ho clicked on the file. Hyenas' face appeared on the screen. She looked tired and hurt. If anyone finds this, she said, listen carefully. The Allians have a weakness. Their nervous systems are sensitive to certain sound frequencies, the same ones that bull cattle naturally make when they bellow. Kang looked at the bulls in their stalls. Was that why his grandfather had bred them? The Allians know this, Hyenas continued. They tried to kill all large cattle near their bases, but they didn't get them all. Her voice grew weaker. They keep me alive to study human brains. I'm at their main base in Seoul. They're planning something big. They need more humans to feed there. The video cut off. So the bulls can hurt them, said Da. But how do we use that against ships and weapons? Jaiho was typing again. The hyenas have another weakness. Their heat vision can't see things that match the temperature around them. Like cold-blooded animals? Asked Kang. Yes, or humans covered in something that blocks heat. Kang began to think. A plan was forming in his mind. Over the next days, more people came to the farm. Some had fought the Allians and escaped. Others had hidden. All wanted to fight back. Jaiho built devices that made the same sound as the bulls, but stronger. Day trained people to fight the hyenas, teaching them to cover themselves in special mud that hid their heat. Suk spent time with the bulls, especially Daewoo. She learned to understand them better. The bulls grew used to the humans and the sounds of the machines. One evening, Kang stood on a hill looking down at the farm. 20 people now lived there. They were getting ready, preparing to fight. Beside him stood Suk with Daewoo. The big bull seemed to understand what was happening. He wants to fight them, said Suk. All the bulls do. They hate the smell of the aliens. Soon, said Kang. We'll fight soon. In the distance, they could see the glow of a burning town. The Allians were getting closer. That night, they heard from other survivors using old radios. Small groups were fighting back all over the world, but they needed a victory, something to give people hope. Kang decided it was time to take the fight to the Allians. A week passed at the farm. Every day, more people came. Farmers, soldiers, teachers, doctors, all running from the Allians, all wanting to fight back. Kang stood in the big field behind the barn. 50 people now trained there each day. Day taught them how to fight. Jaiho taught them how to make weapons that used sound. Captain Kang called a voice. It was Min, a radio operator who had escaped from an army base. I'm getting signals from other groups. They want to talk to you. Inside the barn, they had set up a radio room. Min had connected old radios that the Allians couldn't track. Kang put on headphones. This is Kang, he said. Captain Kang, this is Park from Busan, said a voice through static. We have 30 fighters here. We heard you're planning something. Other calls came in. Small groups all over Korea. Some from other countries too. All fighting back against the Allians in their own ways. We need to work together, Kang told them. The Allians have a weakness. Their systems can't handle certain sound frequencies, the same ones that bulls make. He explained what they had learned, how the hyenas tracked by heat, how they could be killed, how the Allians themselves might be hurt by the right sounds. There's an alien processing center near Daejeon, said Park from Busan. They take humans there. We've been watching it. That's where we'll strike first, said Kang. Not to destroy it, but to free the humans and learn more. They made plans. Groups from around the country would create distractions. Kang's team would lead the main attack. Over the next days, Jaiho built special vests for the bulls. Each vest had a device that made the bulls' sounds louder, stronger. These will turn their natural sound into a weapon, he explained. Not just against the hyenas, but against the Allians too. Suk worked with the bulls each day. She taught them to follow simple commands. To move when she pointed. To stop when she raised her hand. The bulls listened to her in a way they didn't listen to others. How do you do that? Kang asked her one day. I don't really know, said Suk. I just think what I want them to do, and they understand. Daewoo, the largest bull, was the smartest. He seemed to know what they were planning. When Suk put the sound vest on him, He stood very still, as if he knew it was important. The day before they planned to attack, Kang gathered everyone in the main field. "Tomorrow, we fight back," he said. "Remember, the Allians think we're just food. They laugh when they kill us, but we are not food. We are hunters too." He pointed to the bulls in their pen. "These bulls don't laugh. They charge, and tomorrow they will charge for all of us." That night, Kang couldn't sleep. He walked to the barn to check on their weapons. Inside, he found Suk sitting with Daewoo. "He's afraid," she said, stroking the bull's head. "Not of fighting, of failing." Kang looked into Daewoo's dark eyes. They seemed almost human in their understanding. "Tell him we all feel the same," said Kang. "But we have to try." Just then, Jeho ran into the barn. His face was excited. "I got into their system," he said, holding up his laptop. "Through the Hyenas memory unit, I can see their plans. And," he paused, his face growing serious, "I found where they're keeping Hyun." "She's alive?" asked Kang. "Yes, but not for long. They've learned what they wanted from her. They plan to process her tomorrow." Kang looked at Daewoo, then at Suk. "Then we move tonight," he said. "Tell everyone. We leave in 1 hour." As they prepared to leave, news came in on the radio. Other groups were ready. The resistance was larger than they had thought. All around the world, humans were fighting back. The Allians had picked the wrong planet to farm. They moved through the night in old trucks. 6 bulls in the largest truck, with Daewoo leading them. 30 fighters armed with sound weapons that Jeho made, all covered in special mud that hid their body heat. The Alien Processing Center stood in a valley near Daejeon. Once it had been a factory. Now it was where they took humans to be sorted. Some became food. Some became test subjects. Some were controlled to help the Allians. From a hill, Kang watched the center through night glasses. Large fences surrounded it. Hyenas patrolled inside. Alien guards stood at the gates. In the center was a large building where they took the humans. "I count 20 hyenas and 10 aliens," said Kang. "Plus whatever is inside. The sound weapons will work best if we get close," said Jeho. "But then they'll see us." "They'll see the trucks," said Suk, "but not us with this mud. And not the bulls." Kang's radio crackled. "This is Park from Busan. We're in position to the east. Ready when you are." Other voices checked in. Groups were in place all around the center. The plan was simple. Create a distraction, then attack from all sides at once. "Begin," said Kang into the radio. Far to the east, fires started. Park's team had set old cars on fire. Alien ships rose from the center and flew toward the flames. "Now," said Kang. Their trucks moved down the hill with lights off. When they were close to the fence, they stopped. Fighters jumped out and moved forward with heat hiding mud on their skin. Suk led the bulls out last. She walked with one hand on Daewoo's side. The big bull moved silently for his size. They reached the fence. Jeho used a tool to cut through it. Inside, hyenas ran back and forth, confused by the fires in the distance. Kang raised his hand. Everyone turned on their sound weapons. Each made the same deep sound that bulls make, but louder. The effect was instant. The hyenas screamed and fell to the ground. Some clawed at their own heads. The alien guards dropped their weapons and covered what looked like ears on the sides of their heads. "Now," shouted Kang. They charged through the fence. From other sides, more human fighters did the same. The hyenas couldn't fight back. The aliens tried to use their guns, but the sound hurt them too much. Suk slapped Daewoo on the side. The big bull charged forward with the other bulls behind him. They ran straight into a group of hyenas. The bull's horns tossed hyenas into the air. Their hooves crushed those on the ground. "The main building," shouted Kang, pointing to the center. They fought their way to it. Inside, they found rows of cages. Each held humans waiting to be processed. Kang and his team broke the locks and freed them. Hyenas, Kang called. Are you here? A weak voice answered from a back room. Kang, is that you? They found Hyenas in a small cell. She was thin and pale, but alive. Kang helped her walk out. In the main yard, the battle was nearly over. The hyenas were all dead or dying. The few Allians left were on their knees, the sound weapons making them unable to fight. Then a new sound filled the air. Allian ships returning from the false fires. We need to go, shouted Da. Everyone to the trucks. The freed humans ran to the trucks. The fighters covered them. Suk called to the bulls, who came running back. Daewoo was covered in green hyena blood, but seemed unhurt. As they drove away, Allian ships fired at them, but they were too slow. The trucks escaped into the hills. Miles away, they stopped to count their people. They had freed over 100 humans. Not one of their fighters had died. It was a victory. Hyenas sat wrapped in a blanket in Kang's truck. How did you know? She asked. How did you know the bulls could hurt them? You told us, said Kang, in your hidden message. Hyenas shook her head. I didn't know for sure. I just had a theory. They looked back toward the processing center. In the distance, they could see alien ships flying in search patterns, looking for them. We hurt them today, said Kang. But it's just the beginning. The queen will be angry, said Hyenas. She doesn't like when her food fights back. Good, said Kang. She should be afraid now. In the truck behind them, Daewoo the bull stood calmly. If bulls could smile, he would have. 1 month after freeing the processing center, the human resistance had grown strong. The news of their victory spread around the world. More groups fought back. More alien bases fell. But the Allians still controlled most major cities. Their largest base was in Seoul, where Queen Thera lived in what had once been the tallest building. We need to end this, said Kang to his war council. They met in the big barn at the farm. Around him sat Hyenas, now recovered, Jaiho, Da, Suk, and leaders from other resistance groups. The queen is the head, said Hyenas. Cut off the head, and the body dies. She'll be well protected, warned Da. Many hyenas, many Allians with weapons, and human traders, added Park from Guzan, the ones who helped the Allians. Jaiho spread a map on the table. I studied their communications. The queen stays in the top floors of the tower. She thinks she's safe there. Can we reach her? Asked Kang. Not easily, said Jaiho, but I have a plan. He explained his idea. It was dangerous. Many might die. But if it worked, they could end the alien rule on Earth. The next day, messages went out to all resistance groups. The time had come for the final attack. Every group would play a part. For 3 days, they prepared. Jaiho built new sound weapons, stronger than before. Hyenas helped make a special device that would make the bulls sound even more powerful. Suk worked with Daewoo and the other bulls, preparing them for their most important job. The night before the attack, Kang stood in the field with Daewoo. The big bull seemed to understand what was coming. Tomorrow, we take back our world, Kang said to the bull. You're a good fighter, Daewoo, maybe the best of us. Dawn came. Trucks moved out from the farm and other bases. Thousands of humans, all fighting for Earth. The attack began at noon. Resistance groups hit alien bases all over the world at the same time. In Seoul, smaller teams attacked guard posts and power stations. The Allians rushed to defend them, leaving the main tower with fewer guards. Kang's team approached the tower in garbage trucks. Inside were the bulls, their sound vests ready. With them were the best fighters, including Da, Jaiho, and Suk. Hyenas stayed back to coordinate. They're distracted, said Hyenas through the radio. Move now. The trucks drove straight at the tower's main entrance. Guards tried to stop them, but it was too late. The trucks crashed through the doors. Fighters jumped out, sound weapons firing. Hyenas fell to the ground, screaming. Allian guards covered their ears and could not fight back. The bulls charged from the trucks, led by Daewoo. They ran through the lobby, knocking down anything in their way. "To the elevators," shouted Kang. They fought their way to the central elevators. Jae-ho hacked the controls to make them work. The fighters and bulls crowded inside. "Top floor," said Kang. The elevator rose quickly. No one spoke. They knew what waited above. The doors opened. They were in a large room with windows all around. Seoul spread out below them. And there, on a high chair, sat Queen Thera. "Captain Kang," she said with her sharp smile. "I've been waiting for you." Around her stood 20 hyenas and 10 Allians with weapons. Human traders stood with them too. "Your little rebellion ends here," said the queen. "You fight well for food, but you are still just food." The hyenas laughed their strange laugh. The queen laughed with them. "Now," shouted Kang. All the sound weapons turned on at once. The hyenas screamed and fell. The Allians dropped their guns. Even the human traders fell to their knees, the sound hurting their ears. But the queen remained standing. She wore something over her ears. "I learned from our defeats," she said. "Your sound cannot hurt me now." She pulled out a small device. "This will call my ships. They will burn this city and everyone in it." Kang tried to move forward, but 2 hyenas that were still fighting blocked him. Then Suk stepped forward. She had been quiet, staying near the back. Now she whistled once, sharp and clear. Daewoo the bull charged past everyone. He moved faster than seemed possible for his size, his dark eyes fixed on the queen. The sound vest on his back glowed brightly. The queen's eyes widened. For the first time, she looked afraid. "Stop," she shouted. "I command you to stop." But Daewoo didn't stop. He didn't laugh like the hyenas. He just charged. The queen tried to run, but it was too late. Daewoo's horns hit her hard. The impact sent her crashing through the windows behind her. She fell, screaming all the way down. With the queen gone, the remaining Allians lost their will to fight. Within days, human forces took back city after city. Allian ships left Earth, fleeing back to their home world. The war was over. Earth had won. Months later, Kang stood in the field at his grandfather's farm. Beside him was Daewoo, older now, but still strong. "Do you think they'll come back?" Hyehan asked, joining him. "Maybe," said Kang. "But next time, we'll be ready." He placed his hand on Daewoo's side. The bull looked at him with knowing eyes. "They learned something important," said Kang. "When they laugh as they kill, we don't laugh back. We charge."